If you're a self-reliant and capable person, it can be hard to recognize when doing more can actually sometimes get you less. Because the things that got you through hard times in the past are now the things that are burning you out. So what kinds of things might you be holding on to that keep you from being happy? Or more importantly, what kinds of things can you let go of to make you more happy? Here's how I think about what I'm holding on to and what I'm willing to release. The first one has to do with my standards for myself. Can you come say hi?
There's pop on me right now. I can't.
If you're someone that has high standards for yourself, it could be a way of soothing yourself when there's other things in life that you might not have control of. For me, my high expectations for myself to have a certain level of tidiness or cleanliness was a way of having control over something in my life when I didn't have control over other areas of my life. So it became soothing for me when I had these expectations for my home to be so tidy, or for me to always feel a certain way, or to be productive. That was another really big one that I feel and that I hear a lot of other people feeling as well. Hi, I'm Avril. I'm a therapist in Canada. If you're interested in learning more about my therapy practice, you can check out the link to my website in the description down below. For me, when it came to my focus on tidiness, I actually had to just visually imagine myself putting blinders on when I walked around the house and pretend that I couldn't see, like a horse. I couldn't see the things that weren't directly in front of me, because those weren't the things that I was trying to give my attention to in that moment, because they were easy, kind of low-hanging fruit that my brain really wanted to latch onto and make it perfect, when that wasn't really the important thing in that moment. So if you find yourself focusing so much on setting a certain bar for yourself and having expectations of yourself to be a certain way or do a certain thing, it may be helpful to think about if this plays another role in your life beyond just the end results of that task or that skill. Is it actually bringing you comfort or soothing because there's other things that you don't have control over or that you find uncomfortable? Money is another thing that I've had to let go of to be happy. This one's actually quite complicated because on one hand, in my 20s, I used to say I'm not motivated by money at all. I just want a job that gives me the kind of hours and schedule that I want, and just enough to keep me alive and happy. On the other hand, you need to have money to give money up, to exchange that money for things that make you happy. So this is a tricky one, but I'll do my best here. I had to give up the idea of the cost of things. I grew up in a low-income household, and I've always been a little bit of a penny pincher, and I got really good at questioning the costs of things. It was about the principle for me. If you're someone who feels like sales tactics can be manipulative, then perhaps it can be related to how paying more or paying somebody for something is wasteful if it's something that you're able to do yourself. That's how I've felt as somebody who's quite crafty. I like sewing, for example, so buying a piece of clothing is difficult for me sometimes just on principle, because I'm like, I can make this myself. Why would I pay so much to do it? You might feel like it can be hard to give up money just based on principle. But now I ask myself about the value of something, and not just the thing that I'm thinking about giving or spending money on. It's also the value of my time, my effort, my skills. And if I can spend a certain amount of money to save myself from spending my time or effort or skills or headaches, it can be really worth it because it's got value to me. I will say, money can buy happiness to a point, but once your basic needs are met, that's it. It's not going to keep buying you more happiness. There's been studies in the past that are probably out of date now, but the studies have found that money does actually buy happiness up until a certain salary, and the reason they found that is because that salary was kind of like a living wage. It was what people needed in order to have their needs met, and when your needs aren't met, you're not happy. And so it really wasn't about the money at the end of the day. It was just about having your basic needs met. Once your basic needs are met, that money isn't going to keep buying you more happiness. But there is this layer of needs that we don't think about beyond basic needs that include things like stress, saving time, protecting your peace. And those are the kinds of things that it may be worth choosing to give up money in order to have. So you may need to look at needs differently. Yes, they can include things like a home to live in and food to eat, but they also include things like your stress levels and increasing social connection. It can include things like how you spend your time and how much effort you put into things that you find enjoyable versus things that you do because you have to do them. We often pay for less pricey alternatives to things with our efforts, which leads to more stress in the end. At the end of the day, if you're somebody who struggles to let go of money that you do have that is there for that purpose, just know that it's okay and that's why it's there, and you can give yourself permission to do that. No guilt. Possibly our most valuable form of currency is time, and that's another thing that I've learned to give up in order to be happy. Time is one of our most valuable resources because it's something that we can't earn back or make more of. So once it's spent, it's gone. And time actually is spent by determining what our priorities are. And if we don't determine what our priorities are, not deciding is still a decision, and it gets spent somewhere. We've heard before that time is money, and for me, I'm willing to spend time on the people that I love. It's an investment, much like money is, because spending that time on people, even if it's like type 2 fun, even if it's like babysitting for my friends or something like that, when I could have gone out on a Friday night, it's worth that time for me to invest in those relationships and build the connection that is important to me and to do something for them that I value. I value giving my friends a night off, and I value being family to each other when we live in a city without family around us. We are each other's family, and so it's a worthwhile investment of my time. If you're somebody who finds yourself spending a lot of time on hobbies that you love, or with people that you enjoy, or doing an activity that you enjoy, you might do it subconsciously without even realizing it, but you're choosing to prioritize things that make you happy by spending your time on them. And in most cases, the rewards outweigh the effort and the time spent. It's worth it for your happiness. Another thing that I think about when I think about spending time is it's a way of leaving a legacy. And so the relationships and the impact that we have on people is a way of leaving our mark on this world. And the only way we can really do that is by spending time with them. There's a beautiful quote from Maya Angelou that says, people won't remember what you said or what you did, but they'll remember how you made them feel. One of the best ways I know of to make people feel a certain way is to really give them your time and attention. So those relationships in my life and the opportunity to create a safe environment for people who matter to me is everything. We are not meant to live alone. We're pack animals, and we depend on each other. We depend on living in social groups in order to survive. And that's the best way I know of to have a positive impact on this world. And I can't tell you how happy it makes me to give my time in that way. If this video is helping you think about how you invest in things differently to be more happy, then consider subscribing for more videos like this. I'm really enjoying the process of creating these videos and learning YouTube and continuing my therapy practice into this space. So I'm really excited to be able to share with more people, and I hope this is really useful for you. And you might find this video helpful to watch next.